What you were saying?
No, I was saying I think it's important what he said as far as addressing the unhealthy aspect of the media and what they use for promotion and marketing versus like Liz was an amazing artist.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people get the opportunity or their voices drowned out from actually crediting her and talking about what her job is, and that's being an artist.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have other gimmicks and factors now that come along with being an artist. I can no longer just be a hip hop artist. I now have to be a hip hop artist. I now have to be a public relations individual. I got to know about business. You have to be a complete business in order to run yourself properly and not get into pitfalls, right? And so with Lizzo, personally, I've never seen anybody stand on a soapbox and say her weight is healthy, she's doing everything right, leave that woman alone, she's not a problem. What I have seen people do is jump to her defense when other individuals, or when she herself, because we grown, we adults, she's made certain decisions as an individual that you have to hold accountability for, period. But outside of that, I in a sense, I understand where he's coming from, where he's saying that it's okay to promote somebody, but don't do it with blind faith. Don't act like what you're seeing is not what it is. Obesity is unhealthy, period.
Exactly, true indeed. And it's all about having an understanding of what you say out your mouth, because you held accountable for what you say. We building on that statement from Kanye West. So it's the Good Ear Streaming presents I Design Myself. Once again, that's the I Design Myself podcast, where we all about wholesale, not retail. Sometimes, maybe not all the time, we provide the details. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, we got a dope guest, here tonight. Real intelligent brother. Shout out to his father. Father real peace, like father like son. With that being said, go ahead and introduce yourself.
For sure. Peace. I appreciate that. Again, shout out to the podcast, Good Ear Streaming. Shout out to Brother Raheem. Shout out to Exclusive Print Media. I'm Iman from Norfolk, Virginia, 757, independent artist. And I appreciate you for having me, God, for real.
Respect.
Glad I got a chance to be here with you, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and like you said, wholesale, not retail. And sometimes maybe the detail, man.
Yeah, you heard it. You know what I mean? Iman. So, sure. Tell people what you got going on.
All right, so just to give people a quick update, we're in October now. So the entire year I've been dropping follow-up music. I'm doing a new strategy for the release of my EP that I have coming at the end of the year, the fourth quarter of this year before 2022 is finished. At the end of this month, I'll also be vending and performing at an event hosted by, shout out to Prevail Clothing Company. I'll be hosting and performing at their event, Halloween and Homies, October 22nd.
Okay.
Shout out to the illustrious Norfolk State University. Without saying too much, but saying enough, because as you mentioned, my father, shout out to him and Exclusive Print Media, our printing facility in the 7 cities area. Exclusive Print Media will be at Norfolk State Homecoming in the next week and a half. So please feel free to come by our table, come see us. Thank you again to the officials at Norfolk State that helped us and worked with us. And so that would wrap up some of the things I got right now that's about to go public that I'm working on. And I also just released the official music video for my last single, 104 Summer. So.
Okay, that 104 Summer. You performed that before?
Yes, twice. I performed it at MacArthur Mall at the Manifestation Market. Shout out to Zion's Creations on the second floor, close to the elevator, I think, right here on the north side. And then I performed it recently at the Relentless Show at West Beach Tavern, hosted by Amelia Entertainment. Shout out to her as well. So those are the only 2 times I've ever performed a single, and the third would be October 22nd.
Okay. So you rhyming. So what got you into rap? What got you into hip hop? What inspired you to do that thing called hip hop?
So even though I'm a hip hop artist and I'm an MC of the culture, my favorite genre of music is classical. I was in the orchestra in elementary school, from elementary going into middle school, and so before I even picked up a violin and started learning those chords, I had loved melodies. And so simultaneously with playing the violin and being in the orchestra, my father, he did 5 years, 4.5 to 5 years in prison. And so during that time, I had picked up poetry a lot to express myself and have an outlet. And so from poetry, melodies, and just internalizing a lot of things around me, and my mother as well. Thank the Most High for her. She really based my hip hop foundation from the 60s, 70s all the way up forward, even till this day. So I would say her.
70s.
Listen,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
like when I say Curtis Blow, Kool Moe Dee, KRS-One, Nas, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five, like African Bombada, when I say elements of individuals from way back when, and then she even introduced me to teachers and guides that are MCs as well out here, like Novocaine and Fats from the Rubber People. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
I interviewed Novocaine. Shout out to Novocaine.
one of the
shout out to Fats. I purchased his books,
man, for sure. Even in that book itself, a lot of the history that he talks about, because I'm Solar Flare Zulu, so a lot of the history that he talks about, I've already had the opportunity to be introduced to, but now it's a brand new perception, you know, like the Ghetto Boys and certain movements that was going on in New York and out in the West Coast when they first started bubbling. It was a beautiful thing. So those things influenced me to become an MC at the age of 8.5 to 9 years old.
Okay, now do you remember, hey son, can you tell your queen to open the door for the Scott Free? He coming through.
For sure.
Downstairs. We on the 4th floor. So yeah, you remember your first rhyme? Can you remember your first rhyme?
This is gonna be funny, right? So, are you from the Seven Cities area originally?
I'm from Philly.
You from Philly? Okay, so if you go across the bridge going to Compostela, and you know where the STEM Academy is, right there by Diggs Park.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a STEM Academy. Before it was a STEM Academy, I went to Compostela Elementary. I earned a scholarship and everything in the 4th and 5th grade for college that I used to go to school later on, right?
Yeah.
And so the first like official rhyme I ever wrote, and I was like, this the one I wanna put out there to the people. I got the opportunity to perform at my elementary school.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't super duper corny, but it was dope. It was like, I can make a difference by doing different things, staying in the right lane, right points around the frame. Good life. Yup, trying to live right. People hating on me because I'm so bright while I live life. And you know what I'm saying? So something along those lines. We had the computer teacher, shout out to Mr. Page from back in the day. He took us to his father's church. He was a pastor, I believe, and we recorded it. I performed at the school with my little sister, and that was the first thing, man. I could make a difference. I won 3rd place in the Tidewater All District competition at like 11 years old from that song, man.
Okay, I can make a difference.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Okay,
I might remake that. Look,
yeah. I like that. You hear, oh God. Yeah. So okay, I can make a difference. All right. Basically, you have a combination of different people that inspire you to do this thing called hip hop, along with your father and your mother.
Yes, sir.
You know, your old shout out to both of them.
Huge shout out to them, man.
So yeah, what's some people that you link with and work with when it comes to making an album, or just rhyming together?
Let me see, cause I can't tell the names of the Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club. But I know that some prominent individuals in the area who dedicate their lives to helping independent artists like myself.
Yeah.
That I definitely spend a lot of time working with the VIP studios, from to Zeke to Rich, Trees. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anybody out there. Man, I can't think of his name. These are producers.
Okay.
Rich is an artist and he's a producer, but they're mainly producers and engineers and a business. They're the studios. And so not only do you have some people who are producers and artists, but you also have producers and managers. Like, it's not just because in today's game, it wouldn't be successful to have just one facet. You should have, like in school, a major and a minor. And so a lot of them might major in production or beat making, but they also have experience in management or public relations. And so I'll go to the VIP studios and I'll spend time up there and I'll sit down. I'll write my lyrics out. One of my tracks, 21, off of the EP that's coming out this year, I sat and got the opportunity to watch the sample get made live, and that convinced me to buy the beat. Watching him make it live off of the beat machine, spin it, hear the melody, the sample itself, what it was, convinced. I said, who's on that beat right now? He said, nobody. I'm making this fresh. I said, when you're done, that's mine. Sent them the money, and that was that. So definitely the VIP studios. Also, huge shout out to Prime Records. I just recently went there and connected with Hayes Banks and with Biggs at Prime Records. Shout out to the both of them. And so,
what Biggs from the news?
I didn't ask him where his hometown was from.
Is he real?
Yeah, tall.
Real
yeah,
tall?
about light skin. You know what I'm saying? He do a lot of work.
I'm
yeah,
talking
so
about different Biggs from Newport News.
You might be. You
Yeah.
might be. You might
From
be.
the news. Shout out to Biggs.
For sure, man.
Yeah, Biggs. So dealing with hip hop, you got some other things going on. What you got going on
with hip hop? So
no, I'm saying.
As far as like
you got the clothing joint
for sure. So I'm the CEO of a clothing brand called the Virginia Supply Company. I will have items out available for viewing and for purchase at Norfolk State homecoming if anybody would like to see them. And so I just came into a year in business in February, earlier this year. I started the business in 2021, and so coming up in October now, I want to say this will be our between our 7th to 10th event this year that we've done since we passed our first year mark. So thankful on all the success that I've been learning about that. Coming out with our fall line as well with our fall items, and also my new merchandise for myself as an artist. I also push through my clothing brand, and so you can see all of those available this month before the month ends.
Okay, that's what's up.
Thank you.
Hey, look, let me throw some names out there real quick, and you just tell me this pick and tell me why.
Okay.
Kind of simple. When you talk Pharrell or Timberland.
Oh man, Pharrell. Is that it's either or? Like it's either or. I could just be like in the both.
I'm saying you could say both, and you could say both, and then break it down. Why?
All right. So for this one, I have to say both, and the reason I have to say both is because I'm a separate fan of both of their productions. They're geniuses in their own right. Pharrell's another double major. Not only is he great with production, he's also an artist. Freestyling, choruses, hooks, the whole nine. You can place him in an element of music and it'll be multiple ones to interact with. Now Timberland, legendary producer as well. He just has one of the most unique catalogs, number one. And I think beat patterns, like not only beat patterns, instrumentation, like the instruments he selects to pair with one another on his beats. Not many people can duplicate that, if anybody, honestly. So yeah, that would be my answer for those two.
Okay. That's a so we talking about. I ain't gonna stick with the same state, but I'm talking about go-go or house music.
Ooh man, I fell in love with go-go music in college, yo. Shout out DC, Maryland, DMV, and Chihuahua, right? So if I had to say, oh man, dang, because personally I love house music, but go-go is so cultural, man. I gotta say house. I gotta say house music. Personally, that's what I love, man, for real.
Okay, they don't never get the address right.
Man, you know how I go. Gotta send it a couple times. I'm on the way. I'm out there.
Yeah, yeah. They don't never get the address right. So yeah, shout out to once again, shout out to Good Air Streaming,
for sure.
And shout out to Timberland.
Big
shout
outs.
Magoo.
Big shout outs. Big shout outs, man.
So we talk about Clips or Dungeon Family. Yeah.
Listen, VA, before I make this statement, and don't put me on the stake now. Y'all know great music. But Dungeon Family.
Okay,
Dungeon Family. I am a Andre 3000 fan to the core.
Okay.
Dungeon Family. Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey.
With a huge shout out to the Clips. With a huge shout out to the Clips.
Yeah, true indeed.
For sure. For sure.
Andre 3000 is definitely he's a lyricist, definitely an MC. You know what I mean? So if you could do a track with your favorite MC, like who would you want to do a track, dead or alive?
Jay-Z. No, there's no debating, there's no confusion. Jay-Z has been my favorite MC of period. He signed my other favorite MC. J. Cole.
Okay.
If not
okay.
them two, Kendrick. But out of all of them,
Yeah.
Jay-Z for sure.
So look, real quick, how you feel about it's kind of, it ain't balanced, you know what I mean? It's a little unbalanced when it come to me, but for the most part he all right.
Okay.
This guy Charleston White. What's your take on, Charleston White and his perspective on gang and rap music and how it affects the community?
I think that, well, number one, everything happens for a reason. So the purpose that he's serving and the attention that he's garnering by challenging the status quo is divine. It's right on time. What he's doing is meant to happen. But it's also meant to be noticed, because as you get older and as you mature, and I'm sure you can attest to this, you find out there's not always left or right. I can make my own path.
Yeah.
I think that him, and whether he acknowledges it or not, or whether that's his aim or his intent, now he's in a position of power. Right? And so there's powerful positions, and then there are positions of power. When you are in a powerful position, your position has power accustomed. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter where you are in your position is powerful. Now, when you're in a position of power, that means that you've positioned yourself in a place of the power. A powerful position means that anybody can step into that and assume that's a powerful position. You're gonna be, but when you're in a position of power, you've positioned yourself adjacently or to benefit or to interact with that power directly. He's placed himself in a position of power by challenging all of these powerful things in our community.
Yeah.
But I personally don't see that he has done it in the most positive aspect. There may not be a most positive aspect with the nature of the topics that he's dealing with, and to a degree, I commend anybody that's willing to take a stand, because a man that stands for nothing is gonna fall for anything. And
be the vanguard, because he's definitely a vanguard. And for real, even I feel like the people that's even coming at him agree with him.
I feel like they agree
with him, but they don't want to admit it. But they do admit it when they say, "I understand them."
You know. Well, I mean, so would you say
saying.
that? Would you say that if you give your agreement to something, or would you say because you understand something, you agree with it?
No, not necessarily, but coming from them.
Okay.
Coming from them. Like how they a lot of them, they be so quick to attack something, but you can't attack something that on the other side, you be like, yeah, we fighting for this and we standing for this, because you're going to contradict yourself. Yeah.